basically thought that that would have inured to the benefit of the Progressive Liberal Party. I mean, that would have been sort of the because of the racial divide that was obvious. That's one reason, you know.
I just
because
that.
Right. I guess a part of it we need to really hold is that enfranchisement around the suffrage in the Bahamas also dovetailed with a larger enfranchisement post, during slavery. I mean, there was agitation during slavery for enfranchisement. So enfranchisement isn't something that just began with the suffrage movement or universal suffrage for even men in the 1940s and 50s. The process of enfranchisement would have begun during slavery, way back when. So enfranchisement, had several layers of meaning enfranchisement of black people who would have been enslaved during the 19th century and 18th century. So these things were all part of the larger tapestry.
I just want to say I enjoyed it very much, and I just wanted to express a hope that clearly you didn't have much time to give an exposition of all this. But there is a dimension that I hope you will include,
yes,
which is the general Bahamian public and their reactions to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, what does the Guardian say? What does the Herald say?
Exactly.
What does the Tribune say?
Exactly.
In other words, we all know the famous editor of the Tribune who
yes,
proposed unilaterally to have destroyed racial discrimination.
Right.
Okay. Where was the support coming? Were the Bahamian people buying your flies? Were you being booed in places?
Yes, certainly Sadie and DePuch formed in 1955, formed the Bahamas Democratic League, which was a political party that ran in the 1956 election. That party, along with the Progressive Liberal Party, were the two parties that supported the suffrage for women. And so, I mean, what I've done really is really very selective and anecdotal, and there is a much larger picture which I want to continue to talk about. And thank you for bringing that up. And yes, I mean, through the BDL, there was the whole anti-racial discrimination resolution that was put forward in Parliament by Sarti and DePuch, which is a part of the background of the women's suffrage movement too. Yes.
Just to give some context, I think I'll double check the dates, but women weren't given the right to vote in Switzerland until 1962.
Right.
Women were not given the right to vote in Liechtenstein until 1970.
Right, and then Saudi Arabia, even now, exactly. But we're talking about the British Empire right now, so which did have it before Liechtenstein and Switzerland. Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, this says 1951, way before Indian Butte, maybe like 1996.
Bert Cambridge. Bert Cambridge also. This has been a very, lasered view of the women's suffrage movement. It has a huge context, which I tried to talk about. And yes, I've
big difference between Indian Butte and
Bert Cambridge.
And Bert Cambridge is that there was an act where in the Indian Butte case there was a resolution.
Yes. There was a resolution. Right. All right. Well, if I could just speak to this, the research that I've done and the actual documents and the way I am framing this, I have not done tonight for obvious reasons, time, etc. But we have there will be a website on all of this, and I'm going to upload work on the Bahamas Democratic League and the history of the anti-racial discrimination. I've been in contact with Colin Hughes, for example, in Australia, who was the Secretary General of the Bahamas Democratic League, and we've been having some correspondence. And so I'm just saying that I am fleshing it out, and so my presentation has been very telescoped. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to the conference.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I wanted to know, do you have any details about the actual passing or the vote in the House of Assembly the day that they presented to universal suffrage?
Do you mean Dr. Johnson's speech when you say?
No.
Oh, February 23rd, 1961.
Yeah.
I have, yes, I've got the bill that would have been presented and the dialogue around it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And how did the vote go?
Oh, okay. So what happened there was that the resolution that was actually passed. Initially, it wanted women to be enfranchised for 1963, and so there was an amendment that had to be made for that. There was also an amendment that had to be made for women to be able to run for election. So several amendments were made along the way, and the general Parliament supported that. I mean, all sides supported that. But at the very end of the day, it really was about the change from 63 to 62, where there was some dissension. The rest of the Liberal Party persons wanted it for 1962. The United Bahamian Party originally wanted it for 1963, and so there was, they didn't support that resolution for 1963. But eventually, when it was all changed to 1962, there was no issue. There was no issue around that. Right.
No women chained themselves to railings or lampposts.
Right, exactly. Yes, and I like during the British suffragists, and they burned down places and did some really militant things there. It was much more peaceful. I think we're the quiet revolution people, right?
I think Doris Johnson's speech was so strong.
Yes. Yes.
You did a wonderful
Yeah.
job, and you're doing a wonderful
I
job.
really encourage you to read Doris.
Yeah.
I mean, and when we say her speech, she spoke on behalf of the movement, right? And so I really want us to keep that in mind. Even though she was the leading spokesperson, she was for it was a movement, and she was a part of the movement. And I think we need to keep the movement at the forefront of all of this, even though individuals do get the highlights all the time. So thank you. The documentary will be shown December 7th and 8th at the Bahamas International Film Festival, and then at various places come the new year. And I'd be happy to come back here and show. It's about 70 minutes.
Thank you very much, and you heard it all at the Bahamas Historical Society. The whole world heard it. I hope. Well, thanks very much for coming out, and it's a wonderful time. Don't forget, we have the books for sale, $20 each, and I'll sign them if you buy one. The next big thing is the launch on the 29th of November, so keep that in your diary. So it'll be serious the first part, and then we'll have some fun afterwards. Thanks very much for coming up. And thank you again, Marion. That was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful speech.